So I started by drawing a circle. I used a cutting tool to do this, but a plate or any circular object will work. And I just lengthened the circumference of the circle so it was big enough for the ring light. I marked out some different points on the circle to extend it. It was a very rough circle as I had about 5 hours sleep. So I used Cos cutting tool to cut the circle in the middle. This is not needed, I just happen to have this around. I narrowed down the shape somewhat with a cutting knife. I cut out some strips of EVA foam in the same size, which will be great for going around the outside. I also cut the same width of foam to go around the inside part. I took my small piece of PVC piping and basically measured it out. Then I used Taiji's LD45 foam and cut a circle. Then I connected the two parts of EVA foam strips together with a glue gun, stuck this piece inside the ring, and just generally stuck it down. This project is very easy to do. I highly recommend it. I did this on about 5 hours sleep and it took me around 2 hours. Just trying to work out how long it needs to be. I always leave a little bit extra because you never want too less. So I'm just going around with my glue gun, making sure it's all nice and stuck. When you're using a glue gun, it's always good to hold it in place and make sure it adheres properly. Just cut the piece of foam down so it fits the circle. This does not need to be exact or pretty as it will be never seen in photos. Then I take the next piece and do the same process but along the outside. This was slightly more tricky, but I'm sure if I hadn't been extremely tired it would have been way easier. It's much more important to hold the piece in place for long enough at this point. Then once it's all glued around the middle, I just line the ring with cling film, sticking down with my glue gun as I go. And just go rounding with the glue gun and the tinfoil until I've covered the entire inside. Until the entire ring is covered. Then I basically just stick down the strip lights, as they have an adhesive backing, you do not need to glue them. I would go from the outside to the inside. You want the end with the plug attachment to be near the bottom so the wire does not interfere with the lights. If I was to do this again, I would have made the ring much smaller and more compact, as it would have intensified the strength of the lights. I just went round and round until the entire strip of light was covering the inside of the ring. And that's what it looks like turned on. So pretty. So I used the LED foam, and here's the lights changing. With this you can get so many different colours. The diffusion looks so nice. So glue down all the foam. Also, thank you so much to Taiji's Cos shop for sponsoring me with these materials so I'm able to make this video. Just glue down the foam and cut away the excess. I really wish I'd made this thinner, but the light effect from it is so good. It's definitely a great thing to have when you're stuck at home and can't do outside photo shoots. So I take my wire and I've attached the PVC piping by gluing it down to the back and then covering it with a bit of the LD45 foam. This is not really that necessary, as you could use any foam, but I just had some scraps about. Used another little piece of foam to keep the wire in place, to make it even stronger. Put another piece of wire around the first piece, making it really secure and making sure to have lots of bendy prongs. And there it is, all attached to my tripod. I bent the wire around the back to hold it on. It's got such a lovely bright light and really helps. So this ring light is really quite capable of a lot of things, as it has a remote with lots of different colours. You can change the colour to blue, to white, which is really good for just general photography. The warm orange is pretty good as well if you want a more warm colour. Red looks really cool, green looks pretty cool, blue looks pretty cool, and then there's different levels of each shade, and the closest you get to the white colour tone, the more naturalistic it will look. You can obviously take down the brightness, turn up the brightness, and in general I would have made it thinner, made it slightly less awkward, but it was a prototype, and for a first time round it's pretty good, nice and light, attaches well. I may attach it to a different stand just for ease of movability of the camera, but I'm pretty pleased with that. Have red eyebrows because of photo shoot, but yeah,